Hey everybody, how are you? We Here we are live again, live stream, doing our thing to bring you some breaking news and information. And it is September 23rd, about 5 p.m. Sahuarita, Arizona time, and we are going to have a couple of guests on at 5:15. Angie Anderson and George Taylor are going to join us from the Stand Up for America group from the United Republicans of Green Valley, Sahuarita. So we look forward to that. Right now, I'm going to talk a little bit about, I think probably I'll start off with a little bit of college football. I know you guys love me talking about college football. So anyway, since the last time I was on, ranting and raving about some of the conferences not playing this fall, the Big Ten has decided to. Actually, I don't know if you all knew this or not. There's 14 teams in the Big Ten, so I guess they can't count. I don't know what's going on. It's like the Big 12 has 9 teams, so I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, the Big Ten is going to play, and it looks like the last week in October 24th, I'm hearing, they'll start their games. They're going to play a short season, so we'll see if that happens or not. And the other teams are going. There are teams playing. I watched a little bit of a Clemson Wake Forest game last week, and I didn't catch much of this week's games. They were pretty benign stuff on TV. So this coming weekend, the SEC, Southeastern Conference, gets started. So there'll be some good things to watch there. And evidently they're handling the coronavirus okay. They're testing players every day to make sure everybody's okay. If someone tests positive, they quarantine them. So they're managing to do it, and that's a good thing. These are healthy young athletes, and they should be fine. So I don't know exactly what the deal is with the Pac-12. They're still twiddling their thumbs. But I do know what the problem is there. I mean, I'm not sure why the conference commissioner doesn't stand up and fight for football like he should be doing, and talking to these governors and mayors, because he's blaming the California governor and the Oregon governor and the mayor of Los Angeles and the local communities in Oregon, the mayors, for not allowing players to even work out, where the other Pac-12 teams have been working out, at least, lifting weights, doing that kind of thing. And so they claim that they didn't stop them from working out. So you know how that goes. These are Democrats you're dealing with, so they're out of their minds anyway. So the Pac-12 says that now they're going to vote at the end of this week whether they're going to start the end of October or by November 1st. So we'll see. We'll see if they have the guts to stand up and do it. I think the other teams in the conference, like Washington State, Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah, they should be allowed to start earlier because they're ready to go. They're ready to start working out as a team, offense, defense, special teams, ready to get things going and play football. So anyway, that's where we're at on the college football front. I guess pro football is playing games with no fans, but I'm not paying any attention to it, and I honestly hope none of you are either, because these players don't deserve your attention, okay, and they don't deserve your hard-earned money with the antics that they're pulling on the field. So I really hope you're not paying attention to the NFL, because they're starting to be called now the no-fan league for NFL, so I think that's true. I don't want anything to do with them. I'm not paying attention to any of the games. And I do want to mention something that I came across on the internet, and it's kind of interesting. This is and I don't know if it's a downer or not. It's just it's just kind of the fact of life that we come and we go, and our lives really aren't as long as we think they are. And all of a sudden, you're in high school and having a fun time, and all of a sudden you're in your 70s and trying to figure it all out. So anyway, some of the sports people that died this year is pretty interesting. And I'll start out. Of course, you heard about Kobe Bryant. And I don't know if you knew John Thompson, who was a college basketball coach at Georgetown. He coached Patrick Ewing. Pat Dye, who was a football coach at Auburn for many years, and a good coach, a great coach. And then y'all might remember Phyllis George. Phyllis George was one of the first females to work on the sidelines for CBS Sports on Sunday NFL games. And then Tom Seaver, who was a pitcher for the New York Mets. And they said he died of dementia and complications from COVID-19. And guess what state he was in? Can you say New York? And let's see who else we got here. Lou Brock. Lou Brock was a great player for the St. Louis Cardinals. I remember him, great baseball player for the St. Louis Cardinals. I don't know if you knew it, Phyllis George was crowned Miss America, so she was a pretty woman. Other notables: Jim Kick, who played halfback or running back for the Miami Dolphins in the 70s. University of Wyoming, great player. Let me see here, some of the other ones. Lute Olson. I don't know if you guys heard that. We heard Lute Olson was in hospice, but he passed away on August 27th, and 5 years old. And he retired. He retired after the 2007 season. So a lot of people like Lute Olson. He was a good coach, and sort of put Arizona on the map for their basketball team. Let me see some others here. Any other notables? I don't really see anybody else on the list. Well, Kobe Bryant. You heard about his helicopter crash. Al Kaline. Al Kaline was a great baseball player for the Detroit Tigers, and he played for the Tigers 22 years. Won a World Series ring. He's on the wall at Cooperstown. He died April 6th at age 85. So Al Kaline was a great player for the Detroit Tigers. And again, Pat Dye, great coach for the Auburn Tigers college football. Eddie Sutton was a basketball coach for Oklahoma State when I was going to school at Colorado, and he was a good coach. And I think one other one here I wanted to note was Johnny Majors. Johnny Majors was a college football coach. He died at age 85 this year on June 3rd. He was coach for Tennessee Volunteers, college football coach, very popular. And again, he was coaching in the 80s and early 90s. And one other one I'm going to mention is Sam Weish. Sam Weish was really a good guy. He was a quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. I think he QB'd in a Super Bowl. And after he retired, while he was doing pro football shows on Sunday, the panels, the prognosticators, I want to say, not the procrastinators, prognosticators. He used to help the homeless all around Cincinnati. He would go around, drive around. When he was coaching the Cincinnati Bengals, he went out during the week, and he would drive and give away food and things to the homeless guys and gals. He really cared about them. So That was pretty cool stuff. And finally, Willie Davis. Willie Davis was a great football player for the Green Bay Packers. He died at age 85 on April 15th. And started out with the Cleveland Browns, but became one of Vince Lombardi's stalwarts on the Green Bay Packers defense. And so you Packer fans, you all remember Willie Davis. He was really a great player. So I just thought I'd tell you about those things and let you know. And I'm going to take a short break, and I'm going to turn on the Zoom for our guests so that they can get logged in. And I'll give them. I'm a little bit early, but it'll give them a little bit of time to get on. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes. So thanks y'all for joining us. I might talk a little bit more about some other political things, particularly the Supreme Court and what's going on there. And so we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am back, and I'm going to talk for a couple of minutes about some things that I've heard about our big election coming up, etc. I've heard a lot of news about voter registration, and I get this stuff from Larry Schweiker because he follows it very closely, and it looks like the Republicans are really just going dynamite in doing dynamite stuff in all of the swing states, Florida, Pennsylvania, and many of the other swing states that everybody keeps talking about. Their voter registration is just really up on the Democrats. So that's really good news, and especially if we get those people to come and vote, because people also believe that the energy level is much higher now because of the Supreme Court thing that's going on, and that and it looks like McConnell's going to stand tough and has already got the votes he needs, and I'm hearing that Lindsey Graham's committee has the votes they need. Now it could turn out that this may not even go to committee. They might just submit it to the floor for a vote, so which has been done before. So we'll see how they play it. President Trump has announced that he's going to announce his Supreme Court nominee on Saturday, September 26th. Time to be announced. So if we hear something about that, excuse me, the Republican Roundup is this week, and it's Saturday night, 5 o'clock. So if we hear something by Saturday night, we'll announce it at the Roundup, of course. But anyway, people are really fired up about that. It's even got the energy level even higher. And if you've been watching the Trump rallies, obviously you can see how energized people are, and they're just going crazy for President Trump. His rallies are just something to behold, and we watch, Patty and I watch every one of them, so we really enjoy them. They're great, and President Trump's just fabulous, and he's very entertaining, very informative, and the crowd just sits on the edge of their seat. They just love everything he's saying, so it is really great. And what else have I heard on the breaking news front? I know that there's a lot of demand for poll workers and people to work at the polls, so please look into that if you want to do that. They need people. Check with Pima County Elections, and also I know you can register to vote. You can register people to vote until October 5th, so there should be a big effort out there to get people to register to vote still. And finally, I saw some news in the Sahuarita Sun, our fabulous local newspaper, and I don't know how many people actually read it, but it's kind of a subset of the Green Valley News. But they had an article this morning that, and I'll read it for you here. It says, Pima County sets voter registration record. The Democrats, they raised their voter registration by 7,093, which is 3%. Republicans went up 6,064, which is 3.5%. But they make an interesting statement. They said Republicans are outnumbered by 67,613 in the county. Well, not really. That's the way Jorge Encinas wrote the article. But if you add in independents or no party designated, which are independents, to the numbers, and those people can vote for President Trump, make no mistake about it, and usually they break conservative, 60-70%. So we actually outnumber the Dems in that case, 350,000 to 244,000. So we'll see who's outnumbered here. So anyway, the problem is you got to get independents to vote. Okay, only 3% of them voted in the primary, so you got to get them out. They got to be excited, and I think they will be, to come out and vote for President Trump. So a lot of those people like President Trump. They don't want to register as a Republican, but they're going to vote for Trump. So anyway, let me check now. It's 5:14. I'm going to look at the list, and don't see George on yet. So Angie. I think you can hear me, Angie. Okay, I need to turn on your mic, but I don't see George. George hasn't joined us yet. So we'll get started and he can join us later. Hold on here a sec. Stand by, folks. We're working on this, trying to get Angie Anderson unmuted. She's joined us, and So, Angie, see if you can unmute yourself by clicking on your little microphone. There you go. Looks like you're on now.
Yes.
Okay, I can hear you now. All righty. So we'll wait for George. Well, let's see. George is here now. So let me get him tuned in here. Hi, George. How are you tonight? If you can, unmute yourself. Just click on the little microphone.
Yep, I'm unmuted.
Okay, good deal. So we got them both on now. And how are you tonight, sir?
Doing well. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Angie's on with us. And let me get the right screenshot up here so we can see. There we go. Now we got the gallery view, and everybody looks good and fresh and ready to go here. So Angie, how are you doing, dear?
Doing well. Thank
We have. I'm going to get your picture a little larger here. I'm working on YouTube, so I apologize. I was asked to invite you guys on the YouTube show to talk about Stand Up for America, and I believe that Angie, you're going to speak for the Children of Liberty. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay, and George, you're going to talk about the Defenders.
That's correct.
Okay, so each of you take a couple of minutes. Angie, if you want to go first, ladies first. If you would like to tell us about the Children of Liberty.
All right. Thank you, Don. We have a new community in Green Valley. It's online, and it is called Stand Up for America. That's stand dash up, the number 4, America.com. And in that community, we have groups. And I am the organizer for a group called the Children of Liberty. And our objective is to preserve history. We celebrate the accomplishments of our parents and our grandparents who built the country, and we want to preserve their memory and tell people of the great accomplishments that they made. So, in my case, my father was in World War II, and he fought with Patton's Third Army in Germany, and that's quite a story how that happened, but that's just an example.
Thank you, Angie. So go ahead, George. Tell us a little bit about the Defenders.
Okay. The Defenders, our group, we represent military, law enforcement, border patrol, firefighters, and healthcare. We're the folks that are on the front line that are defending and protecting our communities here locally and across the state as well as across the nation.
Okay, so I know you guys are involved. You have a lot of meetings at the club headquarters, and I know that, for instance, the Defenders. I believe you have a trip coming up that you're going to go out to 3 Points and salute the Border Patrol, and then there's some other things going on. So each of you take a few minutes. George, you can go first this time. Tell us some of your upcoming activities.
Okay, so what we're going to be doing on Friday, we'll be meeting over at the Safeway at the Ball Line Road, and we're going to be decorating our vehicles. And we'll arrive there about 7:30. We'll depart there at 8:30. We're going to convoy over to 3 Points, and just along the way, just sort of let everyone know who we are, what we're doing, and get there
And I know you probably both heard about the agent down in outside of Nogales that was attacked by a knife wielding illegal alien, and he had to shoot and kill him, and he got stabbed several times, but I guess he's okay. So yeah, they got a very dangerous job, and we need to all I know we all appreciate it. Those who don't, it's unfortunate, but yeah, they've got tough work to do, and so that's a great thing. You're going down there. They've probably never seen anybody down there before. You'll really surprise them, I bet.
And I think that's just it. They are surprised to know that there's a group out there, and that group is united Republicans, Green Valley and Sahuarita. They're just flabbergasted that we can take the time to actually drive over there and acknowledge their service to our country.
Yeah, and just to let everybody know, I think 3 Points is pretty close to Kit Peak, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, so it's quite a ways out. So Angie, what are some of the things coming up that the Children of Liberty are going to do?
Well, we have an event coming up October 3rd. We're calling it We're Not Portland. And we have joined with the Defenders. So it's the Children of Liberty and the Defenders that are hosting the event. And we're going to have a panel. Sahuarita Mayor Tom Murphy is going to join us. Sahuarita Police Chief John Noland will be there. Congressional District 2 candidate Brandon Martin is joining us. And also our two legislative District 2 candidates, Workman for the State Senate and Deborah McEwen for the State House. So it'll be a really good event. The community's invited. It's from 10 a.m. to 12. And it's at the Southern Arizona Community Church. Pastor Steve Aiken was generous enough to open the church for us. That's located at 52 West Calle de las Tiendas. We'll have coffee, pastries, and there's a 50-50 raffle. And all of our guests will be able to ask questions of the mayor, the police chief, and the candidates. Also, an opportunity for campaigns to gain new volunteers. So that's the goal of this event. We're not Portland.
Yeah, thank God we're not Portland, right? I mean, they got a disaster going on right now. So I don't know. I always wonder. It just befuddles me how people can live up in those cities and tolerate that kind of nonsense. I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get why the citizens of those towns aren't just up in arms about stuff. Maybe they are. Maybe we don't hear about it. But I don't know. I don't see a lot of resistance up there. I know if those people came down here, there would be a lot of resistance, in Arizona. So I'm confident that, and I know Chief Noland, and I consider him a friend, and I know he wouldn't put up with that nonsense, and I know Mark Napier wouldn't put up with it either. So
Weakness invites the wolves. So we can't be weak in these circumstances.
go ahead, George.
One of the comments that I heard from some Portland, they suggested that it was only a few blocks that were affected, therefore it wasn't of any concern to them. But just the simple fact that the mayor and other politicians in the city is basically rewarding bad behavior, they're getting more of it. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising that this has continued for well over 100 days now.
Yeah, easily.
Until they crack down, expect more of it.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know why they don't think it can leak into the suburbs. And if it does, they've shown they're not going to protect people in the suburbs. So, you're exactly right. They're rewarding bad behavior, and not a good thing. So let's talk a little bit about your panel. Chief Noland, I'm glad you got Chief Noland. That's great. And Tom Murphy. Tom Murphy's kind of a friend of Patty and I too, and I'm glad to hear Tom's going to participate. That's a good thing. And we know Brandon and so Deborah and Mark Workman. They certainly could be keys to this area if they won their elections, because LD2 is kind of the Democrat wilderness right now. So until we redistrict and put this place together again, it's a struggle. So anyway, tell us a little bit more about the panel, Angie.
Well, it's basically just going to be question and answers with statements coming from the community leaders and the candidates. So it's basically, we'll be talking about the mob and what consequences are. It concerns us, this violence and the mob, and we just want to get together as a community and have our neighbors and friends there and talk about the situation and what the solutions are.
So what do you think we can do, and I'll pose this question to George and you, what can we do to get the word out about this so you can have really good participation and get people, because people around here, they're like the people George was talking about. They're, oh, that's down in some other area or that's on another part of the country. We're not worried about that, right? And, they just got to realize any of this stuff can leak out anywhere in the country. And law enforcement, if your law enforcement doesn't stand tall at the time, you're going to have a problem. So how can we get the word out to the Sahuarita, the town of Sahuarita and Green Valley, and get them to participate, particularly the town of Sahuarita. We need to get them over, because I think your church is located, it's actually over in Green Valley, right?
It's right on the line. It's just, there's Duval Road and Duval Mine Road.
Okay.
The church is located just directly east of Big Oak Tire. So it is very centrally located there. And we're using social media. We also have flyers that we printed. This will be in the What's Happening of the Green Valley News. And we're posting flyers and businesses to get the word out.
Good. So social media, you're talking about Facebook, Twitter, emails, and since I do a lot of the messaging for the club, get me the information and I'll be sure and get that out to people, and because we want you to, we want it to be a success, and you guys are doing, you're doing a good thing, and I know recruiting people to help you is really important. The more people you have that'll volunteer, that want to voluntarily help and defend this country and our Constitution and our law enforcement, that's all a good thing. So anything we can do to help to get the word out, you have to let us know and give us the information. So go ahead, George.
Well, I would just add to that too, that we can reach out to local churches too, to get that word out as well. But I think it's important that we do get the word out as broadly as we can, but also to stress to citizens that, quite frankly, police do not have a duty to protect. If you call 911 and for some reason they don't get there in time to
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, truth be known, and I'm telling you both. So, and I know you'll keep it a secret, that I have a Glock 22 on my nightstand. And trust me, it's loaded, because an unloaded gun is a rock. So, so I just tell people, load your guns, okay? Because you got to have it ready to go, because you don't know how much time you're going to have. So it's a personal decision whether you want to cock it or not, but to have it ready, okay? Keep the bullets in it and have it ready. Of course, if you have small children around, you want to keep it in a safe place. And I would recommend some kind of a quick electronic combination box or safe to do that. But, if you don't have little children around, have them ready to go, and you'll be okay. But you're right. The police can't be everywhere all the time to protect people. And I know they'd like that to be the case, but it's not. So anything else beyond October 3rd going on that you guys, I know you guys are doing a lot of kibitzing down at the office, so.
We are educating, organizing, and mobilizing. And this is being taught to us by the president of our organization, Dr. Yale Wishnick. So he's giving us a lot of good tools. We also, one of our goals is to grow our group up to 1,000 members. We also just did a fundraising and we reached our goal of $15,000 because our desire is to have a permanent office in the community. Now, in the past, we've only convened the office during election years, but we'd like to make this a year-round facility where all of our groups can meet. So there is a committee that's flips the plate for us.
And I hope they're successful. I know in prior years, we've urged them to get closer to the town of Sahuarita, and that's not always easy, but again, that would be a big step to getting this area involved with the club. So we hope that's successful. So George, anything else going on with the Defenders?
With regards to the defenders, one thing that we are doing is reaching out through social media, for example, next door. We're reaching out to other like-minded patriots in that way, as far as getting the word out about who we are and how to do it out in the street. But also putting out information and encourage them to get involved in our organization. We're no longer a club, social club. We're an organization now that is motivated to, as Angie said, get out there and educate, organize, and mobilize, and start changing some hearts and minds. Start educating people about what conservatism is and what the Republican Party is all about. Because we're going to be a new Republican Party that's not a Republican. So we're going to try to change the paradigm that we've seen over the years as to who Republicans are. We're going to actually get out there and, as I said, we're going to educate, organize, and mobilize.
Yeah, I know. You make a very good point, because so many times in past years the club was kind of, people come to the meetings, drink the Kool-Aid. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, thanks for the coffee, the cookies. All right, we'll see you next month, right? that was about it. So yeah, I understand. I mean, I know you guys know that I know Yale, and he's doing a fantastic job, and he's right in his wheelhouse. He's doing something that he's always wanted to do, but he was never quite sure how to organize it and get it started. So this has finally opened that door for him, and he's doing a lot of emailing and coaching you guys and mentoring and whatever other word you want to use. So anyway, that's all a good thing. So hey, I really appreciate you guys coming on tonight. It's good to see both of you. I know that I know you're going to be successful in what you're doing, And again, if we can help get the word out about your events or your activities, feel free to email them and send them to Patty or I or both, and we'll get them up in the messaging system, either the Google groups for the Sahuarita Tea Party or the club, and then the club uses MailChimp too, so for larger things, but those are all good tools, and they help, and they have a good email list. So I thank you both very much. You both look outstanding. You were outstanding, and I appreciate you joining me tonight. And get the word out. We'll send out the link to the YouTube. This YouTube will be up permanently now, so you can send the link to anybody you'd like and get the word out, and they can watch the program and learn a little bit too.
Great. Thanks, Don.
Thank you. Okay, everybody, that was great. I really enjoy these folks, and what they're doing is a really good thing, and I want you to know that they're doing yeoman's work. They're doing a lot of stuff to help the club and branch out now and try to get more people involved and important stuff. I mean, this is really an important year, and your president keeps telling you that this is probably the most important election of a lifetime. And, we're really fighting a battle here. So I have no doubt in my mind that President Trump is going to win. There's just no doubt in my mind he's going to win the election. So, and I want you guys to be confident in that, but, believe that you got to go vote and get other people to vote. We've got to get people out to vote, okay? Now, there are going to be some shenanigans, there's no doubt about it, but I don't think the roof's, the sky's falling as far as all that, and I actually don't believe in my heart that the election's going to be close. I think Trump is going to win this easily. And so, and all the indicators that I'm seeing, that I'm going to my references, is telling me that. So, and I'll be sharing that with you guys. Now that I've got my old computer up and running now, and things are working good, and the live stream's back. Boy, I had some real problems, I'm telling you. And I couldn't get one of our other laptops to work. It just wouldn't. They just can't handle the streaming live with some of the other stuff we do. So they haven't got enough memory, and they haven't got enough processor speed. So this computer of mine, I had to go back, do a complete recovery, reload Windows, reload all the stuff on that I need for the program, and here we are. We're going great guns. I apologize a little bit for this camera. It looks like I've been out in the sun all day, and I'm not really that red. so maybe that's some of my Indian heritage I don't know about, like Pocahontas, right? That 1/1000th of 1%. It's got my skin red. I don't know. But anyway, so I'll leave you with some thoughts about the Supreme Court and filling that seat. This is big, okay? And I know that President Trump's going to pick a woman. He's obviously going to pick a woman, and he wants a woman. And if it's Amy Coney Barrett, I think that's her name. She's a brilliant jurist, and I really hope she's the one, because she was in the race with Kavanaugh, and she I think she's going to be the one. So anyway, we'll find out Saturday, and that's September 26th. And remember, Saturday's the roundup. If you have tickets to the roundup, it's down at the Longhorn, 5 o'clock. We confirmed last night that Ken Bennett will definitely be there, and he's going to bring his guitar for entertainment. So we'll have some other things going on. Cash bar, and we got a full house. So you have to come in. As you come into the Longhorn, I would park in I would call it the north side parking lot, and then you'll come in toward the rear of the building, not the main entrance. So if you're watching this broadcast. Now, one thing I want to mention too, if you look down to my left, okay, you'll see a box there. It's got the Sahuarita Tea Party logo on it, and it says subscribe. So if you would please, if you're watching, subscribe. And then also there's a little bell you can click to get reminders and notified about the show. And when we do a live broadcast, you'll get an email. It will let you know that it's on. And we try to be as regular as we can, but we're not, it's not 100% every time. Especially we had this computer problem that we had. So we are going to be back on for sure on September. I think it's the 29th. I think the first debate with Trump and the first debate with Trump and Biden, which I don't think is going to happen. I don't believe Joe Biden is going to debate Donald Trump, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that's going to happen. And but it's on the 29th. So on September 30th, after the debate, whether we have a debate or not, we're going to have a live stream on that night. And Christine Bowserman, who many of you know, is going to be our guest. Now, she went back to Washington, D.C. and worked for the Trump administration for several months early in his administration. She was also at one time the campaign manager for Frank Antinori when he ran for Congress. And Christine's knows a lot of people in the state, been around, so we're going to have her on, and we're going to have her get the word out to all her fans that she's going to be on. And we're just going to talk about, if the debate happens, we'll talk about that, but we're going to talk about other Arizona politics and everything involved and that's going on. She's a good prognosticator, too, about, what's going to happen in the state of Arizona. So, again, Christine Bowserman, and that's September 30th. And we'll come on at 5 o'clock. And so we hope to see you then. And, again, get down there on that little logo, and that's where it says subscribe on the screen, and subscribe. And I thank you all for joining us tonight. Thanks to Angie Anderson and George Taylor for coming on and telling us about the Defenders and the Children of Liberty and Stand Up for America and the United Republicans of Green Valley Sahuarita, and when their president, Yale Wishnick. And you all take care. God bless you. Thank you for joining us again, and we will see you soon. We may have a show before September 30th, and I will send out emails and notify you if we do, because we got a lot of stuff to talk about before the election, and we want to get to it actually before the early voting starts. Although some states around the country are, believe it or not, are early voting already. And so thank you, everybody. God bless you. Take care, and we will see you soon.